My Path in Histotechnology, written by Jeniesha Russell. An Unexpected Beginning. My laboratory life began when I landed a role as a data entry clerk at a private anatomic pathology lab in New York. At the time, I had recently earned my bachelor's degree and was just grateful to have a job. A few months in, my supervisor, Alex Irlanda, and our director, Dr. Zuber Nakadar, asked to speak with me about moving into a different role, becoming a grossing technician. I had never heard of histotechnology before. This wasn't a career I had planned, but rather one that found me. Looking back, I now realize my director had a strategic vision. He was recruiting and developing future technicians from within. I happened to be in the right place at the right time and with the right educational background to qualify. What I thought was just a temporary job became the start of a lifelong career, learning from the best. My grossing journey began under the guidance of Alex Irlanda, who taught me the fundamentals, starting with wrapping lens paper. He encouraged me to observe Louis Canlis, a highly skilled grossing technician who set the standard for excellence. Louis was fast, precise, and hardworking. While most techs completed 1 to 1.5 pizza boxes worth of GI biopsy vials per day, Louis could complete 3 effortlessly and without mistakes. I aspired to reach that level of expertise, but while I was just beginning my journey, Louie was looking ahead to her next step. After 5 years of grossing, she was eager to learn to cut, a skill that would allow her to grow professionally and increase her marketability. Since our lab wasn't offering that opportunity, she left for another lab that would train her in cutting. Becoming the next Louie. Roughly 10 years later, I found myself in a similar position. When I started, I struggled to meet the productivity requirements of my lab. I worked hard, always striving to improve, but I wasn't hitting the numbers. I asked a coworker, someone who met the targets with ease, if he had any tips. His advice? If you want to be fast, you have to move fast. That simple statement stuck with me. I kept working, kept pushing myself, and over time, without even realizing it, I had surpassed expectations. One day, I saw my productivity numbers and was shocked. I had become one of the top producers in the lab. The first thing I did was share my excitement on Facebook, and an old coworker jokingly commented, "It's about time." Taking control of my growth, I had a decision to make: stay engrossing indefinitely or take matters into my own hands. Unlike Louis, I didn't want to leave my lab, so instead, I went back to school and earned a histology certificate. This opened the doors for me to learn cutting and embedding, skills that I had previously been denied the chance to develop. Once leadership saw the benefits of my additional skills, everything changed. I became the tech they turned to when frozen sections for DIF specimens needed to be cut. When the morning shift was short and embedding tech, I stepped in to help. Even my former supervisor, Alex, now managing the image analysis department, requested my assistance when his tech was out on medical leave. By the time I moved on from that lab, it took 3 people to replace the roles I had covered on my own. One of the proudest moments in my career happened when I was asked to step in and use the new skills I had learned in histology. The lab only had one tech that was trained to cover Mo's, and when she had to go on maternity leave, the lab was left scrambling. The manager and director did their best to recruit a histotech to fill the role before her due date, but found no one. Because I had trained in multiple areas, I was able to step in and cover Mo's while still grossing. It was a big deal because doctors performing Mohs procedures depend on histotechs with this skill set to maintain their practice. I was the solution that kept things running. At the same time, the pathologists at the lab were relying on me to gross their breast lumpectomy cases. Because I was trained and skilled in both areas, I was able to fill these vital roles when the lab needed it most. In that moment, I wasn't just another tech. I was the person keeping the lab moving, ensuring patient care didn't suffer. That feeling of stepping up when it matters most is something I will always be proud of. A message to my fellow histotechs. As we celebrate Histotechnology Professionals Day, I encourage you to reflect on your own journey. Whether you love the work you're doing now or have an itch to try something new, your career is yours to shape. For those just starting out, Know that histotechnology is more than just a job. It's a profession where you can grow, explore, and truly make a difference. Every skill you learn adds value to patient care. For those who have been in the field for years, if you feel stuck, consider learning something new, mentoring a colleague, or exploring different areas of histotechnology. Growth isn't just about moving up, it's about deepening your impact. For those in leadership roles, support your techs, encourage their growth. A histology lab thrives when its professionals are engaged, learning, and advancing. Histotechnology is a dynamic profession with endless possibilities. Some of us love the bench, some love research, some love teaching. We all have our own paths, and that's what makes this field so exciting. So today, and especially on March 10th, let's celebrate our contributions, our growth, and our shared passion for histotechnology.